Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is a follow-on from one that I showed right at the end of Spring Watch when I made some note cards with the sophisticated serif stamp set. I couldn't think what it was called then. So a lot of people said, oh, you know, could you make a box for it? So now I have. So, and obviously by the fact that these note cards are standard size, you can fit any, you know, you make a whole batch of cards and they will fit in there. I did suffer a little bit of trauma, well not me personally, my box. I had them sat in my studio, which is over there, and I knocked the light over and it squished the box, so don't do that. So there you go, you can see there's plenty of room for cards and obviously the envelopes, which are bigger. So there's the envelopes. And I'm going to make another version of this, but slightly different colours, so I'll just bung that on top. So you need two pieces of cardstock, one for the base, one for the lid. The base is the bigger piece and it's in the darker colour. The lid is smaller and it's in the paler colour. So my base is 8.5 by 6 3/4 inches, which is 22 by 17.5 centimetres. And with your scoring tool and the stylus that you forgot to get out, and the squeaky chair, you score it at 1 inch on all four sides. And in my box that I have, I've got 4 of the notelets, the original 4 that I made, and 4 envelopes. Lots more than that. Okay, the lid, did I give you the metric? I think I did. 8 1/16 of an inch and 6 5/16 of an inch, which is 20.7 by 16.2. And you score this at 3/4 of an inch on all four sides. And if you want to know how to find the 16ths of inches, our scoring tool is divided up into 8ths of inches. So between 1 and 2 are 8 little notches, so that's an 1/8 of an inch. A 16th is even further, is halfway between the two. Okay, that's then done. Let's do the stamping as well while we're here. So exactly the same as the note cards, I've got my sophisticated serif stamp set. So you get 4 sheets of stamps, all completely see-through. And I have got somewhere my cherry cobbler ink, and I've got my S to go at the bottom, which is just down here. I've got another stamp on it ready. This cherry cobbler on Very Vanilla is rather lush, very elegant. So I want that one as well. And I've double mounted these as well. These are all the little floral icons that are in the set. And did I get my cherry cobbler sponge out? Quite possibly not. So I'm just reaching. There you go. And I'm just going to sponge around all these edges. Oops. And then on this part here, because I need to keep the ink out, I'm going to fold and burnish these score lines. And just keep going round. I love my bone folder. You could do this, and I was teaching my children, you know, the difference between, or the reasons behind burnishing it so that you get a sharper crease, and you can do it. I mean, I remember doing it with the back of a knife and also my thumbnail, but our bone folder has got, it's small but there's some weight to it, so it's not like you're really pushing down with your arm. And I used to think, you know, a bone folder a bit of a muchness. No. This one's so different to my other one. Okay. So these 4 parts here is what we want to sponge. Oh, good job I'm covering that up. So there we go. And then I can stick that bit onto here. That will go just over there. And then to cut it and to build it, you need a pair of scissors. That's a good start. And you cut up these little score lines and just notch them a little bit. It makes the clothes nicer, neater, more attractive. And just repeat it on the lid, and then the same on the box as well, or the base I should say. Okay, and then I've got my fuse here ready. So, just into all of the four corners, and when you bring them round, the reason you've notched means that this is a perfectly flush edge here. Lovely. This is oh gosh, what are the finished dimensions of this? Well, I know it's 1 inch deep. I don't know, I can't remember. Well, it's a little bit bigger than a standard C6 card if you're UK. I believe they're known as A2 cards overseas. Basically, it's to hold standard size cards. Or you could put treats in, or sweets, or things and stuff. Doesn't have to be cards. Although, clearly that's the designed purpose of the box. But you know, a multi-purpose box is a good box in my eyes. So you pop your cards and envelopes and things in there, close it up. I'm going to put my pearls on, and then I'm going to come in with the ribbon. So a pearl, oh I forgot to put one down there, oh well, doesn't matter. The same as my original cards. They all just had little pearls in the centre of the flowers. That's my original. And then to put the ribbon on, I've got obviously the cherry cobbler and Very Vanilla to match, and you lay one over the top of the other. And try not to twist it. There we go. And this is where I will get horribly tangled in my ribbons. So at this point you're treating them as one ribbon. So handle them both at the same time. And then when you've tied your bow, which I know is going to come out upside down. Oh, it's such a pretty bow that's upside down. It's dangerous, isn't it? Me and ribbon. Oh, such a bad combination. But you see, we can fix that. Look, take it off, turn it over, and stick it back on again. Nobody would know. So, you've got your very pretty ribbon with your loops and stuff going in all sorts of different directions. And then you separate the two parts. I can't get hold of it. There we go. Separate the two bits. And you have then got yourself a gorgeous little box to match your pretty notelets. There we go. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I hope to speak to you very soon. Bye.